Here's a box of stupid Kodak Christmas lights. Excuse that buzzing sound. That is the ceiling fan in here. It needs new bearings. Anyways, there is a backstory to this that I need to tell before we proceed with this video so that the whole thing makes sense. Many years ago, back in the late 2000s, I started to take an interest in photography, and I started taking pictures and videos. And my grandparents had, maybe they still have, I'm not sure, an old camera from maybe the 40s or the 50s. I don't remember when it's from, but it is old. And my grandmother knew that I liked old things, so she thought that I should see this camera. So she had my grandfather get out the camera to show me, and we're all sitting there, and he's opening up, because it's in like a little case thing, and he opens up the case and he takes out the camera, and my grandfather and I are looking at the thing, and it's like, oh wow, this is a really cool camera, that's old, you know, whatever. And my grandmother's getting all like disgusted, and she says, it's just a stupid Kodak camera. I don't know what she thought it was. I mean, she knew that it existed, but inherently she didn't know what it was, or it wasn't the one she was thinking of. I think it came out later on that she thought this was some kind of like super rare exotic camera from Germany or something, and it wasn't. It was just like a run-of-the-mill camera that my grandfather had, or my great-grandfather had, or whatever. But it was a stupid Kodak camera. And that whole thing struck me as so funny. Here we are, that must have been 10 or 12 years ago now. We're still laughing about it to this day. The stupid Kodak camera. And it's funny because like it wasn't a stupid camera at all. It probably was a great camera, because Kodak was the brand at the time. Just like now it's, you know, Sony or Nikon or Canon. At the time, cameras were Kodak, and it was a good respected brand, and they made good stuff. I didn't know that they made Christmas lights. Apparently they made Christmas lights, or at least they put their name on Christmas lights. So here we have a box of stupid Kodak Christmas lights. These are the color of Christmas, and actually it is kind of stupid because they're not colorful lights. So it's calling these the color of Christmas, but yet they're white lights. There's no color. Traditional lights, 100 light extra bright, add a set, indoor outdoor lights. So these are they're C6 replicas, and let's open them up here. I'm not sure exactly how old these are. They got to be getting up there. This box looks pretty old to me. I would say this is probably no newer than the 90s. And see, there's the film ad right there for their stupid cameras. Copyright 1991, so this has definitely got some age to it. So I remember these C6 replica lights. I think a friend of mine, when I was much younger, had a couple of colored strings like this, and so naturally I gravitate towards the colored ones a little more because that's what I remember. But these are pretty cool too. Oh yeah, these are definitely old. Look at those thin wires, which is nice on a tree. It's easier to hide these. So these are meant to be like a C6 light, and you can see that the shape of the bulb, I'm not so sure that it's completely size correct, but the shape and the ribs, the texture on the bulb is very much like the old C6. The shape is very pointed. It has the texture to it. It definitely replicates a C6 bulb pretty well. The C6 was a very, very old style. I don't know when they first showed up, but these are, you know, C6 would have been early to mid 19th century, and they were kind of a pain in the neck because they were wired in series. They were not 120 volt bulbs. They were wired in series, and unlike the mini lights that we have today, and probably like in these, there was no shunt at the bottom. So when the bulb went out and the filament broke, the whole string went out, and that's where, when one goes out, they all go out, came from. So they kind of went out of fashion pretty quickly, but people must have liked them, just like today we like the C9s because they're old and they remind us of years ago. This was the concept with these. They solve the problem of when one goes out, they all go out, and these probably don't get scalding hot. The C6 bulbs got absolutely scalding hot. They're almost dangerous to use. So this has a nice long lead wire on it, like many of the old sets did. This is probably 2 feet or a little bit more, and it's got a, let's see here, it is, doesn't say what the amp draws it, we'll check it. The box says you can only put 2 of them together. It is a 3 amp fuse, so depending on how much these draw, that might be a very conservative measurement. So the whole string, is it working? Yeah. The whole string draws 62.8 watts, 0.5 amps, 0.55 amps. So really you should be able to safely put 3 of these together like you do now. Actually more than that. Yeah, you could probably do 4 or 5 before you exceed the fuse. Well, this wire is pretty thin. And the power factor, of course, is no, it's actually not 1, it's 1.95. And this is at 118 volts. So there's of course no flicker because they are incandescent lights. And they're just really nice to look at. They're really nice looking lights. Got a couple of spare bulbs. Look how many spare bulbs they gave you back then. Yeah, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 spare bulbs and 2 flashing bulbs. Remember those flasher bulbs? I don't even know if they make those anymore. And you got a fuse in there too. I gotta figure out where to put these. I have 2 strings of these clear ones. The other ones are not stupid Kodak. They're the heck is the brand? They might be General Electric. Clear color. It's not, there's no color. It says color of Christmas, clear color, and it literally shows the picture with the absence of color. You know what? That is kind of stupid. There is some legitimate stupidity here. Yeah, it says two strings, 100 light sets, which is only just over an amp. I don't know why it's so low. The base grip eliminates loose contacts. 8-inch spacing. Let's take a few of these out of the box. I don't really want to take the whole thing apart here, but let's take a few off so we can see what it looked like. Yeah, see that? It's got a good spacing, so when you put this on, oh, I just remembered. I knew I had seen these somewhere. I know where they were now. When you put them on a house or on a wall or something like that, it actually takes up a decent amount of space because there's enough space in here. All the bulbs are What did it say? I thought it said the length on here somewhere. It said, what the heck? I know it said the length. Oh, here it is, 66 feet. So that's pretty long. And also on the box, we have instructions for replacing the lamp, which is nice. And in this, it's kind of interesting. These must be 3.5 volt bulbs, because this alleges that it's consisting of 3 circuits of 34, 33, and 33 as opposed to 250. That's kind of a strange design. They do seem brighter though than some of the 2.5s. I guess that's why they would have done it. Well, I think that's about all there is to say on these. You got the little clips there, hook them on the house or something. It's the package just broke here. It must be getting brittle. Maybe it was stored in an attic or something. That's why I don't. Yeah, this whole thing just snapped off. That's why I don't store anything in the attic, because I have some street lights up there, but other than that I don't put anything else in there because the heat ruins the plastic. So it looks like the lights themselves are okay though. I don't see any damage from here. They get a little warm. Nothing like the old C6 sets would have. So there we go. A set of stupid Kodak lights. I gotta find somewhere to put these.